beaten up, as we say. Beaten up, what a funny expression. Ayup Woodlanders, come on in. Good afternoon. Managed to sneak out the back door so I can get some planting done. It's actually Saturday today. Needs must, and I've got to try and get this planting done. A slight technical hitch. The wheelbarrow wheel is flat, so the barrow's out of action. I haven't got another wheelbarrow up here, so we're going to have to carry some stuff. So it looks like I'm going down the bottom end, find out what thuya are dead, replace the thuya, which means there'll be a stake and a tree shelter already there. And once I've done that, we'll assess how many thuya we've got left, where they can go, and after that we can then assess where the rest of the hazels are going. Now the plan was to try and get all of these plants in before the end of 2025. Didn't quite manage to do that with the holiday season. Going on holiday to a place called Colton in Derbyshire, up near Ashbourne, and then the Arctic blast came, which we had 3 inches of snow and lots of black ice and freezingness. And then of course we got busy on the hazel hurdles. So with one thing and another, we've not quite managed to get the trees in, but it's now I think about 17th of Jan, so hopefully between today and tomorrow we will get all of the trees in, which will give them a chance to settle in nicely. I always have a goal of trying to get things in before the end of December, because believe it or not, when the weather's warm, sort of above 6 degrees or so. Hang on, Bella, she's got bramble wrapped around the tail. Oh, we've got another top out there. Just noticed another top of pine snapped out. Where was I? When the weather's 6 degrees and above, badgers have been digging again. Now where was I? When the weather's about 6 degrees and above, you find that what am I thinking of? You find that the roots actually start to develop and grow. Oh, we've got another pine tree out now. Hang on a sec. And so when the roots try and grow, you want them in the ground, because planting, I find, in after February into early March, which some people do, depends on the rainfall area, but round here it's much better. Try and get them in before the end of the year, so it gives them that 2 months to let the roots develop underground while nothing's happening above ground, and then come springtime they've actually allowed the roots to develop, and what happens is the rain washes soil through, it washes it around the roots, they get fully embedded in the soil better, and then micro roots, like what do they call them, like the fibrous roots, just start to penetrate into the soil levels. So that's why it's always my goal to try and get them planted before the end of the year. So hopefully that makes a great deal of sense. If not, you'll figure it out. So we've got another pine tree snapped off here now. It's blocking my track. It's crushed the silver birch and it's created another job for me to clear up. Anyway, that's not on today's list. Because we clear felled this ash area, this is what you always get then. When you knock out quite a lot of trees together, you have a bit of a storm, and it highlights the weaknesses in nearby trees that are a little bit more exposed. Just had a quick check down those in the corner, because I put some thuya in down there on the corner. They're okay, they're all survived. There's about 10 to 15 down there, they're all right. So I've got a few robinias I put in here, and where they failed, I haven't got robinias or swamp cypress to replace them with, so they will go in what goes in. Well, that's good news. Put a few in to replace the robinias. And then there were small leaf limes, they've all fine. So this area used to be white beams, and white beams on this ground don't do well. I much prefer chalky soils, and this is not, it's clay and stone. So I took a decision of about 8 years ago to clear them all out, replant with some softwood. It was 2 different varieties anyway. This guy got them in this small scale nursery, and I thought I'll just have half of each because that's all he got. I bet there's only 60% that have survived. This area gets smothered in bramble, but as you can see now after 8 or 9 years that a lot of them are out the tops of the shelter, so these are going to have the shelters removed now. I can reuse them. Bella, get out. Will you stop digging, man? Go and find something else to do. Causing mayhem, man. But I'm just going to replant with thuya in the gaps and see if we can just try and establish this area. There's a whole line here. You can see that. This whole line straight down here has basically got 3 trees in. This way you replant trees that have failed in the first, normally in the first 3 or 4 years, but generally that's how it works. It used to be called beating up. It's an odd expression. I don't know where it originates from and why beating up is used for restocking trees that have failed in the initial plantings. However, you don't really hear that term anymore, and I don't know why. We learnt all this in forestry, and you'd go out, and I cut my teeth in forestry on beating up. It's a laborious job. It's about 10 times slower than actually planting the trees, because you basically got to look down every single shelter to see whether it's alive or dead. It's a good exercise because it means you really are taking care of the plants that you've tried to establish, but you don't hear much of it anymore. And I wonder why, whether it's because people just plant and it's not worth the time, effort and money to go back and restock. They just let comes up what comes up. If you get mass failings, you take it on the chin. You either take a decision then to replant again or leave it completely and just move on to the next site. So let me know what you think. If you think beating up is a thing of the past, I'd be interested in see what your views are. But for me though, in such a small woodland, beating up is still a very important part of my work. That's all the western red cedar planted. Nice little job done. And of course we've got the shade of the oaks, which I think I'm going to have to thin out. We've also got the shade of the larch on what is actually south side over there, so they don't get a great deal of light. But thuya can tolerate a bit of shade, as you can tell. Right, okay, onwards and upwards. Hazel next. I found with beating up hardwoods, which are in much smaller shelters, I just walk up and down the rows, and if I've come to a tree shelter with nothing sticking out the top, because oftentimes when it's sticking out the top you can see living tissue and living buds, whereas if it's not out at the top of the shelter, then in case it's just flick the shelter off, have a quick look down it, see if there's anything living, replant if necessary. And I found that system works for me. I know some people will leave beating up till the 2nd or 3rd year when it's absolutely obvious. If it's not out the top of the shelter after 3 years, chances are there's something wrong with the tree. Replant in a slightly different location, you know, perhaps a foot one way or a foot the other way. And that 2-year, 3-year system is probably better than what I'm doing here, because it's more time saving. However, my wood, my rules. I used to do this at the hall at Catton, and I used to do it on a quad bike because the quad bike had got a trailer behind it, and it meant that I could go up and down the roads with a quad and the trailer on the back, and then just keep looking either side, looking as I'm cruising up. As soon as I come to a tree that's not out the top, sort that. You could keep the quad bike running, and then up to the top of the end of the row, skip a row, because you've sort of eyeballed 2 rows, skip a row and you end up down in the other row then. So that really works as well. Anyway, found a tree that might need replacing. Oh no, that's alright. It's tiny, but it's annoying. So that's the hazels done. I think I might have done about 8 or so. So the success rate of that has been excellent. I'm trying to think how many trees I put in here. Was it 150? But that's rather satisfying knowing that they are replaced, beaten up, as we say. Beaten up. What a funny expression. This is the goat willow area that we felled, or I felled, about a month ago, and we chipped, got all the stuff extracted. Look at Bella, king of the castle. And I'm just wondering, do I replant this with hazel and try and keep chopping the willow back so it dies off? Because I don't really have a great deal of use for willow. Or do I just leave it as a willow area for future firewood, which is about 10 years. I think that concludes another day. We've got about 40 hazels left, I think. I can come back tomorrow morning, get those in. This is another area that's not doing ever so well. This is ash that I coppiced, failing with ash dieback. I have replanted a few. Might be able to see some tree shelters glinting in the sunshine. A couple down here. I've relied a lot on self-set, so whatever comes up comes up, and when I'm brush cutting I just pop a cane in and a tree shelter on to mark where the tree is that's living. That's it for today. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It's pouring rain again. Well, perhaps not pouring, but it's raining again. And it's Sunday, and I thought, shall I or shan't I go up the woodland and do the rest of the planting? And I thought, oh, let's just go and get it done, get cold and wet, and have done with it, knowing that it'll all be finished. So here we are. I think we're ready. Got shelters, got canes, got trees, got my spade. This was hazel that we planted when Ella was little, so she would have been about 1 or 2 years old. So quite a picture for that. And then I coppiced it about 3 years ago, one early spring, and I thought, am I doing the right thing anyway? It's absolutely rocketed back, it's brilliant. But there's some gaps that I did try to establish some willow, and it's never been successful. Every year they fail. Last year I cut them, and the monkjack have been in and basically ate everything off. And I'm like, I'm just going to give up on the whole willow bed thing. I wanted to plant them for binders, for hedge layers, only they're just not established. And if you can't get willow to establish, after about 5 years, you just have to give up, because that's just not working. The last tree for this winter anyway. Thought I'll bring you along for the last one. And also to say thank you kindly for the gifts towards buying the trees and the saplings. Oh, that's
I'm not sure about the grand totals, but I think it's about £110 that you guys are gifted to us, so that can help to buy the trees. As I said on a previous video, it was about £350 total, but £100 that you gave is very, very much appreciated, and I do thank you for that. It just helps to offset the cost, and it also means that you get to have a part in trees establishing the future of this part of the National Forest, this bit of woodland. It's not a lot, I mean it was only like 200 trees or something like that, but rest assured they're safe, they will be looked after, and actually in the future these hazels will provide part of my general income, slowly but surely, and also provide income for somebody else in the future, all being well. And if nothing else, the wildlife will love it. Hang on, Bella, you're all matted now, aren't you? Wait, good girl. So thanks again, last tree's in, and we can rest easy now knowing that they're going to sleep for the next couple of months. So I'm chuffed to bits with that, and I don't think I've got anything else to say. I feel like I need to say something else about tree planting, but I can't think what it is I need to say. Anyway, thanks. Maybe that's just it. Thank you. If you're able to, why not beat up some woodland near you, and I'll see you on the next one.